Hello guys, what's up? Today we are here anime what if, and today we are going to do a new and beginning what if called what if Jiraiya neglected Naruto training during third year of his training. So let's get started. Chapter 1. Damn it, Brad, how did you do? I have to tell this you. The basic need to be learned first before I teach you anything. Exclaimed Jiraiya to Naruto, currently glaring at him. The basic you want me to learn I did already. Besides, they involves someone with genuine level chakra. I have more chakra in my body than most cages, and that's without Kyubi in my gut. To counter Naruto with Jiraiya waving him off. But excuses. You produce more excuses from your mouth than you do shadow clone. Besides, the Kyubi power is more important to learn at this point. Someone you have been failing to do, said Jiraiya while looking at Naruto with what could only be described as disappointing. I have been trying, it's fucking hard, sir. We have been at this for a year and a half, Erosanin, and all you have done is tell me to draw on the fox power. You did not say how. You just bark out a command and expect me to do it. I am not someone Kami damn pet, explained Naruto with Jiraiya scowling further. So what if it hurts? It's called pain. Get used to it. You think Orochimaru is out there in one of his bases scolding Sasuke right now? No, he's putting him through the ringer to get him to become the strongest host possible to take over another year and a half from now, said Jiraiya with Naruto eyes narrowing. At least at least Orochimaru is teaching Sasuke. What do you do all day? Peep and woman, drink yourself stupidity at bad and going to bother to fuck someone woman with more as ideas than a shinobi village as shinobi and my money no less. You fucking leech. Counter Naruto with Jiraiya now looking increasingly angry at the accusation. If it was true, how I spend my day when I'm not teaching a worthless story like you in my business, Brad. Besides, consider you're paying for my lecture time the cost of learning under such great shinobi like me. Jiraiya shout out smugly. You were supposed to teach and train me to be strong shinobi. You haven't done any of that since we started. How are we going to explain this to Granny when we get back in the next year and a half? Challenged Naruto while Jiraiya struggled. I will tell her what I feel is true. You suck as an apprentice and it was a waste of time in the 3 years out of village to train you. Which so far I have been proven right about, declared Jiraiya. While Naruto glowed is putting you effort into training you student, you lazy son of bitch, not giving said student complex material. I cannot understand all to run off to peep woman and just to write your king stuff, exclaimed Naruto with Jiraiya getting increasingly angry. It's called learn by doing, Brad. I'm not going to hold your hand every single day. I'm not going to be around to help you learn this. You want to be strong, stronger than Sasuke in the next year and a half. It's called doing yourself. It's called not stopping being a failure and to stop being a fucking baby when things do not go on your way. Jiraiya saw back at the boy while Naruto looked livid at his word. You do not do anything. How did young Yandem Hokage learn from you is a miracle right now. Hell, he probably still be alive right now if Orochimaru had been his sensei all those years ago. Exclaimed Naruto while Jiraiya's eyes widened before and then narrowed in anger and saw red. And it in the moment Jiraiya struck Naruto hard. And he did not stop. He kept hitting Naruto again and again and again while giving the boy zero time to counter, block or say anything to make Jiraiya stop. You little brat. How dare you say that to me? I trained the greatest Hokage to ever take the mantle since the Sandaimoga himself. And you install my legacy by saying that he could have been better off with Orochimaru as his sensei, questioned Jiraiya while he stared down at the barely breathing and bloody Naruto looking up at him with the blood in his eyes. Angry, defiant blue eyes that said, You fucking bet I do. which only angered Jira even more. You are a failure for a student, a mistake, which is this is over. I am requesting you to put into the Shinobi reserve and confined into the village with any word against yours. I know Sunande will side with me on this, so enjoy your time outside of Konoha. This will be most likely be the last time you have it. And before you think of running out of me for other place, do not forget the Akatsuki is after you and the only protection you have right now against them. And even without being a factor, I could track you down myself to bring you back to Konoha to be imprisoned for desertion, said Jiraiya seriously before giving the brat one more final kick to the body. The Sanin stopped of to enjoy his vice and forget Naruto's word. And the imagine of Minato frowning at him and Kushina pissed of experience at what he just did to their son. But he needed a hot woman to sleep with and hot drink to make them go away. Time skipped sometimes later. It could be hour before the fox healed Naruto physical injury, but the mental one still remained deep within. Naruto hated Jiraiya now hated the Sanin word for being a failure. His threat, his recommendation he could bring to Shinare to have him in genuine reserve. It was an insult, a humiliation intense to any shinobi put there. No self-respecting shinobi worth their reputation could be caught there. So they did so little and were so weak. Their skill level was the middle area between academic student and genin. Naruto vowed not to be so weak. He needed to get stronger and stronger to the point where all Okage past could combine were weak, sickly children compared to him. To get strong that even Uchiha fucking Madara himself could have pissed his fucking pants if they ever crossed path in life in a hypothetical situation. But how to do it? Leave Jiraiya could track him down before he got out of country. They were right now. Besides the sunny word about the Akasuke were true. They could get him too if Naruto wasn't careful. He needed a place to train, learn from competent teachers, and above all this grow stronger. There is a way, said Kaibi while Naruto found himself in mind to see the fox. And that could be, said Naruto with a obstacle in his voice. The toads. River, summon yourself to the mountain, tell them what Jiraiya said to you, advised Kaibi with Naruto looking unsure. Kunande side with Jiraiya in this action, sell me out to him, asked Naruto with the fox shaking his head. While the fool is the primary sufferer, they do not answer to him. Despite what he may say to the country, it is quite the opposite. His actions same him as well as them, but the difference is the fool does not care about it. The man is blind to the lives of those around him and their feelings. Whenever they are friend or foe, it does not matter. You know this immediately with the way the fool has treated you all the time, said Kaibi with Naruto nodding since the fox saw his memory to this time with Sanin and was not impressed. So I go to the toads and tell them what Jiraiya has been doing. And he said, and ultimately asks them for training, all the while hoping they agree with me and not him. Why doesn't it sound so simple when I say it? Naruto asks with Kaibi's smirking. Because it's not. I'm confident they will side with you. They still have to keep the fool out of reach of your person. They could need a reason to keep him away from the mountain and keep you there at the same time, all without you knowing him knowing you are on mountain. Add to the fact if you are missing for a long enough time, Jiraiya will report to your new Okage, and this will no doubt cause problem to her. And when word gets out, all sudden differences, said Kaibi with Naruto flowing of a brick movement. Not a problem, not my problem, said Naruto with Kaibi looking surprised. Really, I'm surprised you could be so cold to the woman on this. You do not mind me asking why? Questioned Kaibi with Naruto frowning. Because he is my family, answered Naruto with Kaibi frowning. You lost me, remarked Kaibi. She is from the Senju clan. From what I have been beaten up textbook through in a trust, one Senju clan is related to Uzumaki clan. We are cousin clans. Even Granny's own grandmother was an Uzumaki, said Naruto with Kaibi narrowing his eyes and at the remembrance of Mito and how she locked him away until his anger was no longer there. Well, what did she know? She sealed him away and never looked back. Why could not she be bitter and after sealing him within the woman? all for fighting against his will, not to mention being sealed into Mito's successor, followed by being changed and crushed to be small moon, used by an Uchiha again, and finally sealed once more into another host to be used for power without permission. The Biju had a little doubt that woman could be so calm and understanding if she had to go through what he did. So you are going to spit them both, one for neglect in being a proper sensei and another for being a neglect distant cousin, commented Kaibi with Naruto nodding. Do not you agree? She went on and about losing her brother and lover as if was the end of the world. But the moment she hears my name, she does not bend on eyes. Explained Naruto with Kaibi thinking it over and surprised the boy by agreeing with him. You do have point. Both clans are related and at some times, and I do know that the first Hokage married Mito all those years, meaning your new Hokage is part Uzumaki for a certain degree. Sometimes she has either clearly forgotten or no longer cares about. Said Kaibi with Naruto nodded. All the more reason I can make her remember. Said Naruto with Kaibi smirking. And to think I want to rip you to pieces and devour your remaining while picking your bone out my teeth. Remarked Kaibi with Naruto glaring. Just right, I'll give you indigestion for the next 1000 years, threatened Naruto before he vanished from his mind. Give who your mother is, I do believe it, remarked Kaibi with a sigh, knowing the boy's mother was exact same way in terms of personality. The boy knew that all the boy needed was the right push, the right shove, maybe even a good punch to the face to send him right direction. His mother was the same way in many except for the what he recalled for her when learning how to do things. At the end, it resulted a super-powered Uzumaki with the skill to punch through 5 buildings, 8 fences, and 2 windows. The Biju could know since he remembered how Kushina did that to Jiraiya once when he mumbled she was getting fat when pregnant with Naruto. It set a new record on how far a woman could hit Jiraiya with super strength, one that Tsunade had not able to break. Konoha office months later. What do you mean Naruto is gone? Jiraiya asked Tsunade in a very angry, seething tone that spelled doom for her teammate depending on the next choice of word. I mean, he's gone. Vanished, take away, explain Jiraiya while seeing Tsunade looking and angrier. Explain command Tsunade with Jiraiya frighting a bit. Okay, it's all started a few months ago. Brad and I got into argument about stuff one day. The things we said were spoken, most of it fell by the way. Explain Jiraiya while Tsunade smacked her fist on the decks. Jiraiya focused what happened. Command Tsunade while Jiraiya began to sweat more. Well, after I failed to vent my frustration elsewhere, I came back to our campsite, but when I did, he was not there. Replied Jiraiya while Tsunade did not look pleased. And you did not become concerned something might happen to him when you weren't around because yes, asked Tsunade while Jiraiya couldn't look at her eyes. Because I didn't expect you to leave the campsite, various reasons. The said with Tsunade killing intent rising. What were the various reasons? Jiraiya demanded Tsunade while Jiraiya looked nervous and let out chuckle. Funny thing, I might have mentioned the Akatsuki threatening to hunt him down to bring him back to Konoha to make a reserve journey if he tried to run, and I also might have violently lasted out at him and saying something hurtful, said Jiraiya before he let out a whimper when Tsunade rose off the chair and looked absolutely murderous. First off, who or what gives you authority to threaten Naruto and saying I could be placing him on to genuine reserve? Second, why is the name of all good and true in the world did you beat him so badly that he could consider leaving your so-called protection for the fraud? First place demanded Tsunade knowing only she had the power and if the boy was extremely weak without showing any promise at all. His fight with Kabuto while recruiting her to Hokage Tsunade that Naruto had a mountain lot of potential. It wasn't my fault. The bride actually had not to see Minato could have been better off learning under Orochimaru of all over me. The Minato had a greater chance of being alive had if Orochimaru been his sensei and not me. As far as I am concerned that the bride deserved his beating. As for making him a reserve gaining, I figure after I give official return from him for failure in learning under me, it could happen. Defend Jiraiya while Tsunade was showing incredible willpower to not to slug him in face. And what did you do or said that result him saying such thing? And what made you think you recovered alone could martyr him being placed in genuine reserve? Asked Tsunade with Jiraiya frowning and looking away. I did not do anything. It was Brad. I mean, all he do was doing on trip was complain and whine about his training and Jiraiya was Tsunade narrowed eyes father. And what did you train me exactly? Asked Tsunade curiously. Well, this and that, focusing on drawing on Kaibi, chakra, and stuff. Explained Jiraiya weakly while Tsunade marched right up to him and looked at man dead in his eyes. Be speaks Jiraiya. What stuff did you teach him? Demanded Tsunade while Jiraiya looked slowly in several step backs. Basic, the kid need to know basics, so I tried teaching him too. He was flailing at it and quite miserable too. I mean, how could a genin not handle a genin based chakra control training? I give him a beyond me, said Jiraiya while Tsunade's eyebrow was now twitching violently. Jiraiya, do you hear yourself? Want you talk much less think. You said that you were training Naruto as if you had a gaining level chakra. Excuse me, Genin with a Genin level chakra slightly higher. Says Tsunade with slow like this was talking someone not all there is dead. Yeah, so Jiraiya acts in confusion. This is Naruto we are talking about, not Kiba, not Shikamaru, not Sakura, not even the pig of Uchiha. We are talking about Naruto, the boy whose chakra level are up there with the cage. How the fuck he is supposed to do is getting exercise with the amount of chakra running through his body? Demanded Tsunade Vijaya looking like a slight blob when on the head. Oh well, when you put like that, said Jiraiya while feeling slightly guilty and stupid right now. What else have you done, Jiraiya? Demanded Tsunade since she knew there was more the fool wasn't telling her. Well, we did focus on trying to draw out the Kaibi chakra, but the boy complained the whole time saying it's hurt and I'm in pain. The boy feel pain is like being pulled apart like a winky baby, said Jiraiya before Tsunade quickly grabbed him by his sword and brought him closer to the point where their head nearly touched. That's because the fox was fighting the seal, you nitwit. Did you really expect the Biju could let Naruto take its power by force? Question. Tsunade angrily. Well, yeah, what the seal does not allow Naruto force the fox into submission and take his power for himself. Asked Jiraiya with Tsunade letting out a noise like he was dealing with a complete moron and want him to cry over how stupid he was being. No, you dumb shit. Had you gone over the notes Minato left behind, you know that's not supposed purpose of the seal. The fact you did not even notice this or examine the seal yourself proves that how much an idiot you are really. Even worse, you aren't you supposed to be seal master. What poses do you think that is a reckless manner? Why not such how the Jinjuriki in Iwakuma drew the power of Biju Beaver trying something or anything of that magnitude? Asked Tsunade while Jiraiya looked nervous. Come on, Tsunade, time. I did not make any time for it. 3 years gone pretty fast. I had to wing it. Besides, the bride should have just took the pain. So what if we hurt? We all have to go through receiving pain to get stronger, said Jiraiya before he was thrown against the wall. You baka, do not you realize that your method of training was putting him health in risk? Do you even care about him at all? Asked Tsunade while she stormed over him. Truthfully, no, I do not understand, Jiraiya seriously, which made Tsunade stop dead in her tracks. What? Why? He's Minato-san, exclaimed Tsunade while Jiraiya grimaced. Maybe Naruto my late student child, but the kid has none of the talent. Even if my way of teaching him was of the some manner, the potential should have shown itself easily. Relaxed Jiraiya bitterly since he was hoping to get another easy prodigy for a student. Perhaps your fate was wrong, or perhaps it was the lack of training, said Tsunade in an accusing tone. You think I could do that? Asked Jiraiya while mentally sweating since he had and he did without fear of caught. I know you, Jiraiya, for years. Even if you weren't such for a decade, I know you how you think you care more about being Umal than training a student to reach his full potential. You did it with the first and only Genin team. You did it with Minato. You did it again and with Naruto, said Tsunade while Jiraiya scowled at her word. There's nothing wrong with training for the fourth. Jiraiya shot back angrily. Oh no, I saw your training method once with Minato. You really dumped all sort of material into his lab, told him to study it, and left people and women at the hot spring for the next few hours. With each new things he learned, you copied off and played it off as if his ability to learn is so well was thanks to you called teaching. You were at the least Jiraiya. Everything that Minato learned you socked up afterward. You made it appear everyone that you could remotely believe that you what he learned was taught by you, probably as said Jiraiya Tsunade while Jiraiya scowled. So if it worked for Minato, it could have worked for his brat. Oh, but he has gone out of the potential, always making excuse of how his teacher look as academic sabotaged him, how Hatake did not teach him anything, and how I spent more time peeping on women instead of training him, remarked Jiraiya before he went pale on the face and saw angry look Tsunade was giving him. So you were neglecting his training. You did the same thing you did with Minato. You gave him complex thing to learn and left Naruto on his own device. Accused Tsunade with Jiraiya scowling again. It wasn't going to hold his hand, Tsunade. All the brat need to do was grow up and put effort in his training like Minato did, said Jiraiya while Tsunade look alright. You really are blind, Jiraiya. Look at Minato and see his miniature Minato. You expect other pronouns where you put minimal effort into a training of history and let them do all the work knowing they will advance at it and you reap the reward. Have you no same? Tsunade shot back. No, do not you get it, Tsunade. Same is for weak. I have none. Why do you think I peep and umel without fear of beating up them? Why do I go to boasting that I am a super pervert? Asked Jiraiya while Tsunade walked back in the decks and scowled further. Same allows us to keep our moral, Jiraiya. While we are shinobi and ninja with blood in our it could like to take we can hold up something close to our personal if we do not across, says Tsunade while Jiraiya waving her words. Off. You are starting to sound like the brat. It was bad enough he complained and sweet excuse for his inability to do half the material I placed on his lap. Remark Jiraiya with Tsunade narrowed eyes at him. And what if I told you those excuses were true? Asked Tsunade where she bought a massive folder containing Naruto academic records. What is this? Asked Jiraiya curiously. Read and see a failure for a student wasn't a failure. He was actually very smart, prodigy smart, said Tsunade while he saw Jiraiya reading some papers in front of him. This is when he first started the academy, asked Jiraiya with Tsunade nodding. Yes, Naruto tried so hard to prove how smart he was at the first to everyone, but the first few pages I can tell Minato's brilliance was strong and him early on the academics, said Tsunade while Jiraiya frowned. What happened? His grace showed they were declining over there, remarked Jiraiya while sneaking through the papers. What do you think happened, you dumb shit? Beating from the villager when word got out. He was actually smart, blow up the head and brain regenerating the way that it did thanks to the Biju him caused his brain safe to shift in terms of thinking. Not to mention the teachers of the academic were sabotaging him, placing him in a spare with the children's. Nowhere told him to go all out on him and beat him bloodily. When the children did not do that, it was academic instruction. One of those bakas nearly took one of his eyes out of accidentally throw a shuriken during a practice season. Not to mention one was around to teach Naruto anything proper insult. Village and poison the poor boy brain and cause him to go brilliant to stupid by the time he was 10 years old. Had you been in the Gaki's life, you could know things and chance to stop it from ever happening, said Tsunade, though she was just as guilty considering the brat was family on the grandmother's side. Why didn't you sensei correct this? Asked Jiraiya with Tsunade saying because he feared Naruto brilliance. He feared Naruto becoming the next Orochimaru or next Itachi. The only real difference being Naruto possible finding the way to actually use Kaiwi Chakra, but on Kona for all those years of abuse the village put him, though the so sensei let it slide. He could rather have Naruto to be dumb or Jinchuriki capable of fighting for the village over smart one possibly going rogue, unleashing the will deserve anger on Kohona, said Tsunade while Jiraiya sighed. It's no wonder he ran. My beating made this worse, said Jiraiya while Tsunade glared at him. You should have haven't beaten him at all. I do not care what he said to you, Jiraiya. In fact, he's most likely deserve it. Honestly, throwing him into a ravine to force him to call out his fox chakra. What possessed you to put him in a almost guaranteed death sentence like that? Demanded Tsunade with yes side again. I was frustrated. All right, at that time I wanted him to go out of my hair. I only trained the brat because I thought he could fail and I could go back to my research. So I kept on pestering me, and his summoning or two of the tour wasn't getting anywhere. So I figured that a life or death situation could be perfect way for Naruto to unlock the big power set. Jiraiya while Tsunade narrowed its eyes at him. And what if he died? What if he did not unlock the power? Jiraiya asked Tsunade with Jiraiya struggling heartlessly. And then he died. It could not have hurt anyone. The half Minato seal Naruto cannot come back. Without the other half seal in Shinigami belly were tied to my late student soul. The brat died from the fall. The fox could stay dead. And no one in the village could say the trade everyone wins. And Jiraiya said heartlessly. You are being quite cold for your student only son. You remarked Tsunade while Jiraiya waved it off her word and ignored the growing killer intent showing of the woman. What I am supposed to be all happy in her face in mention of Minato's son. I do not cuddle kids Tsunade. It doesn't matter who they are or where they come from. I only care about results. If Minato Brad cannot produce them from whenever reason, whether they are real or made up, and then the kid can die in a ditch. All I care, provide I care, provided the Akatsuki do not get to him first to extend the Kaiwi, said Jiraiya while Tsunade finally lost it and threw a paperweight at him, which he does bravely. Get out, and do not come back, Jiraiya. Get out of Kona. Do not stop to pee on woman. Do not stop, laugh at red light district. Get the fuck out of the village, right now. Explain a very pissed off Tsunade while Luke did to throw a desk at him, and with a super strength, she damn well could. What, you are banishing me from Kona? I asked Jiraiya while Tsunade stomped over him. No, you are going on a mission S rank, but zero pay since you can afford it to do it free, said Tsunade with an evil eye on her eyes. What S rank and zero pay? I questioned Jiraiya with Tsunade nodding. Yes, you are going to find Naruto. You will find him, but you will not bring him back. Oh, no, whatever he's doing, it means to get stronger. You will find him, and I want you to get on the hand and knees and get on your hands and knees and beg him for forgiveness for your action. And Tsunade with Jiraiya looking livid. What, beg him for forgiveness? Have you lost your mind? I asked Jiraiya before Tsunade grabbed him by the throat and slammed him into the nearest wall. You will do this, Jiraiya. You have the wronged him so multiple levels, both professionally and personally. Do you think I could have been track you in the movement when I agreed to let Naruto travel with you? I had a slug someone watching you every move, every single action, every horrible things you have ever did from and traveling. I know all about how you were spending Naruto's money on the vice. I know how you haven't been training him to fight off the Akatsuki like you said you could. And the training to his Kaivichakra, it's bullshit. We both know the pairing assigned to hunt Naruto from the Akatsuki were to put together to nullify the use of a fox inside him. How do you expect Naruto to combat them without Kyuubi Chakra if you do not teach him anything else? Did you even try to think about a possibility, says Tsunade with Jiraiya scowling. Of course I did. I figured I could teach him how to use Kyuubi Chakra while traveling around, and he learns us about everything else near Konoha. Summarized Jiraiya like it was the easiest thing in the world, except you did not teach him how to use properly, Jiraiya. You put his health at risk, his life at risk, and for what? So you could spend most of his days drinking and snoring while ignoring a story who is eager to learn. Did you know how many legends could have jumped to the chance of having student like that? And because of your action here, Naruto has gone out of the railway station and the map where anyone could find him, says Tsunade Vijaya looking away. The brat will come back. He will come crawling back to us soon, begging me for forgiveness, not the other way around. You will see, Tsunade, said Jiraiya, while Tsunade looked skeptical. Did you reverse summon him with a torch? Ask. Wait a minute, guys. Sorry, guys. Let's begin. tried reversing him with the tours asked if Stoner finally I went them. They were exactly happy with me. Remarks to Jiraiya while his mind went to the memory of tours all glaring at him. Flashback Mount Mokyo 2 weeks after Naruto went missing. What do you mean you could not help me locate that brat? Asked Jiraiya while he stared at Gamabunda, Pa, Ma and other tours in the room. And none of them looked happy. The fact he left without you noticing after all this time and not coming to us to sooner only proves your decision was correct, said Fuga firmly. You were interested with the Gaki by Minato. Yet you spilled on their duties on him and the boy, and for what you can write a small question, Sigmar angrily. Hey, what I do when it comes to my so responsibility with my failure of a godson is my choice and mine valor. You have no right to judge me on this. I protected Jiraiya while Gamabunda putting a giant wave hand forward. Wrong, you had me sign our contract. He's part of our clan. You cannot do anything that risks his health unless we deem it necessary. Your time with Naruto has left you wanting, declared Gamabunda with Jiraiya scowling at the giant. Toad. I see. He told you everything before running away. Typically, murdered Jiraiya was given a smack on the head with Fukasaku's staff. I do not know what got into your head, so be so cruel to the boy Jiraiya. But in the end, now we could not allow it. The boy come to us. He told us everything, and you did too on this little training trip of yours so far. And we sort of to think that the remaining time could have been like for him. As such, we decided to take him someplace safe we can properly train and be ready to face the Uchiha and Orochimaru should he come down to it, said Fugasaka while Jiraiya looked at him as disbelief. You honestly believe that failure can take on the Uchiha, much less Orochimaru. You have no idea how pathetic and weak Naruto is, do you? Questioned Jiraiya before he was hit on the head again. Harder. Need you we remind you, Jiraiya, that you is weak and pathetic failure once went under your own censure to slate. Granted, you still are pathetic, but the beside the point. The point is the boy can do much more with the right teacher. He puts in more effort to get stronger than you ever did. It's why you never could perform the senior mode and to its fullest extent. So we see great things with Naruto boy just waiting to come out, and it will never be allowed to come out if you are his sensei, said Fukasaka firmly while he saw the heart in their eyes. You can train the brat until another color pa. He will never live up to the potential you see to him. Not with the remaining year and a half before he left to back with Konoha within Konoha, countered Jiraiya while Fukasaka smirked. True, your action have caused as a considerable roadblock to bringing out his true potential, but there is a way around it. Namely, using Saraclone Jutsu the boy can use, Boss said while Jiraiya frowned and confusion. What about it? He can make copies of himself. Big deal. Just because he can make a couple hundred or not even thousand of them doesn't make him anything special. They all dispersed with one hit anyway, commanded Jiraiya with pause sighing before he hit Jiraiya yet again several times following with initial hit. Are you that ignorant of Shadow Clone Jutsu true potential, Jiraiya? Everything a single clone knows the origin will remember for dispelling. The boy can make hundred or even thousand clones. You can said yourself in a single day the boy could learn and gain several weeks of worth of training in a month, years and decades. By the time the boy come to Konoha correction, if he choose to back in Konoha, Naruto will make that Uchiha and your farmer teammates of the snake look like 90-pound weaklings soaking wet in pound scum, said Pa while Jiraiya seeing hearing that since he hated the idea of his student being taken away from him and trained one day become stronger than the toad son in himself. That's not what the prophecy spoke of, Pa. You know I'm supposed to train him, the toad elder said. So explained Jiraiya while the Pa scolded and waved it off and dismally at prophecy. Jiraiya, the old elder toad, is getting on his ears. He spoke more and more opinion every day to the point where his vision are absolutely nonsense. Besides, he wanted you not to take them seriously no matter how clear his vision of the future possibly were to him. In addition, you were told not to tell anyone about the prophecy due to the rules in the place to prevent mortals from interfering in the legitimate ones. Not that you listened to us, since you told the damn sensei about it moment your body landed in Kona, said Fukasasa while Jiraiya looked away for a child getting caught with his hand in a cookie bar. Well, yeah, I wanted him to be proud of me. I was going to train the child of prophecy Do you know how many women could have been thrown in themselves at the fame and glory? I could be up in the neck of our all wanted to piece of me. Even for just one night, said Jiraiya while Pa hit him repeatedly while with his star. You lost for me more from your sincere approve is not an excuse. You were told to keep such information to yourself, but you didn't listen, and because of your action, your sensei and those within Kona have been trying to control the possible prophecy with altered in your favor. Excellent Sima at this time with angry tone. Oh, could that be really bad? The prophecy work in our favor, Sokorai on top. Asked Jiraiya while seeing the toads glaring at him. Goodness. Yes, yelled all the toad at once and it shook the very mountain. Fine, you and Brad take him, train him in the some remote area of the mountain or some part of the world, or I care. It does not matter. He's a failure. He was born a failure too. The only thing that makes him special is the fox in his gut, and the Brad cannot even get a beast to submit. Two things is Minato blood marked Jiraiya before he left. We are sorry to you had to hear the Naruto clan. It must have been hard to hear, said Shima while looking behind Gamamuta right behind Lake to see an emotional, conflicted Naruto behind it. It was hard to hear, considering I did not know he was my grandfather or that the fourth was my father until now. Committed Naruto while he was his eyes became nearly increasingly furious at the replying Jiraiya war at his mind. Do not let the idiot get in your Naruto boy. He is a failure for the most of his life. The fact Jiraiya had a decent education sensei wasn't a Jinchuriki speak volume into itself. You have been hiding all your life, Naruto boy, but no more. We want to train here and with us without interfering and become every bit of shinobi you are meant to be in life. You, what do you say, Naruto boy? Interested in seeing every bit of the powerhouse your father was in life, said Fukaku with Naruto smirking now. No, Fukasaku sama. I'm interested in being every bit of the powerhouse my father was in life and more, and said Naruto with determination, but Fukaku smirked. That's the spirit, Naruto boy. By the same time we got done training, the Uchiha mother himself seems wait, seems like a fly to the eaten by a comparison, declared Fukasaka with a grim. Good, because that's what I wanted to when the times come. I can solve my list filled with crows down Kona throat. Teach me, explain Naruto with his eyes blazing with a fire. The toad only had seen Minato after they met him in the young man. In flash black. Lousy, ungrateful fly eating what makers, grumbled Jiraiya while Tsunade narrowed the eyes at him. Bitch about it later, Jiraiya. I need you to refocus your spy never focus on both Akashi and Orochimaru since they are threat to Konoha, said Jiraiya. Tsunade while Jiraiya grimaced. What about my mission to find Naruto and beg his forgiveness? Asked Jiraiya while he saw Tsunade scowl at him. That's who can we wait until later. Naruto is clearly getting his training from the tour. But at the location either we can go. Beside the Gaki will more likely come back in the village when the time is right. You can beg his forgiveness what happened. Surare said Jiraiya frowning at the idea of giving Grover to his student. And if I say no, said Jiraiya within a hint of defensive in his voice, only for Surare to appear in front of him, grabbing the Sunny by the throat and squeezing the point where he risks crushing it. If you do not do this, I'll rip your tentacles from your body and mount them in the wall beside decks, right between the picture of the sensei of the fourth and Gotti, threatened Tsunade while Jiraiya grimly sheepishly at her. Wait a minute, guys. Well, when you put it like that, how can I say no? I asked Jiraiya while gasping at her ear. You cannot now get out of my office. I do not want to see you back here until you have some results, replied Tsunade before she threw him out of the window. Jiraiya-sama isn't the only one who is should beg Naruto for forgiveness. Tsunade-sama for Suzune while Tsunade frowned. I do not need a lecture from you, Suzune, said Tsunade before sitting down in a chair with a huff. Considering you do not listen me regardless, I am not surprised, commented Shizun with a scowl. What do you mean to say, Shisui, or do for that matter? Find Naruto and say, hey Gaki, guess what? You and I are distant related. We are family. I know this whole time, but left you suffer. in Kona alone forgave me. After all, this time we could you do in this place. I asked Tsunade, which isn't thinking it over. Well, if I were Naruto, I could probably punch you in the face and simply and believe you deserve it and follow by pranking the entire village as a whole. As a result, triple your already large pile of paperwork at the point where you throw a temper tantrum and throw your decks out of the window. Answer season with a Tsunade sweat drop. Naruto could not do that. Could he? Asked Tsunade with Susan just smiling at her. Considering his pranking history, you tell me. I said Susan while Tsunade was not crying, now crying animated. How could he do to her? Damn. So guys, this much for today, and please like and subscribe the video. I've done a very hard work to do it, and please like it and subscribe it. Hope you enjoy the video. Peace.